It's amazing how much the world has changed since I last made a video with the whole COVID-19 thing going on, and just how much the world has changed. I think the last thing we think about is sports, but sometimes making videos like this is a good way to get your mind off what's going on. First of all, I just want to make sure that I say that I hope everybody stays healthy and stays in and doesn't go out unless you need to maybe get groceries. It's the only way this thing's going to get beaten is if people, keep their distance and let this thing be snuffed out. If we continue to just try to live our lives as we were before, it's never going to change. But I'm going to change the subject now to some 49er going-ons in the last week or so. So far, the offseason hasn't really changed all too much. Free agency came, and, for the most part, as, the first giant wave or two has happened. As everybody knows in my last video, the Niners had traded DeForest Buckner to the Indianapolis Colts for the 13th pick in the draft. And definitely was a pretty jaw-dropping move considering how good he's been for the 49ers. But unfortunately, in free agency, the era of free agency, you just can't keep everybody. So I think the Niners did what was best for their organization, and I think the 13th overall pick really opens up a lot of possibilities where you can go. It'd be interesting to see because the Niners have a couple pressing needs. I think corner and wide receiver are definitely the two that come to mind. They have an aging corner in Sherman, and they have a lot of uncertainty. Most of that secondary is going to be a free agents after this year. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. A lot of people have them going at receiver at 13. I hope they do too. But I wouldn't be shocked if they went corner or defensive tackle or offensive tackle at that pick. And that's the thing about the draft. You think you have an idea what teams are going to do, and then they come out and they shock you. What I would love to see happen is them to make a pick of whatever it is at 13, hopefully receiver, and then take the 31st pick and somehow trade back. They could acquire picks that way. They've also put 2 second-round tenders on Matt Breida, and they've also put a second-round tender on Kendrick Bourne. Be interesting to see what they could get for either of them if the team was trying to make a move. I don't think Kendrick Bourne, I don't see him going anywhere, honestly. Matt Breida would be interesting. To me, it's a matter of, because we have so many running backs now. The Niners re-signed McKinnon to a team-friendly deal. It's going to be a pretty loaded room, so it'd be interesting to see what the Niners do in that situation. The Niners made a couple of free agent signings themselves. They signed wide receiver Travis Benjamin, formerly of the Chargers, to a 1-year deal. Guard Tom Compton from the Jets to a 1-year deal, about $3 million. Defensive end Kerry Hyder is an ex-Cowboy. I hear he's got pretty decent pass rushing skills, so he's definitely a good rotational piece. They kind of compare him to Ronald Blair, who else the Niners actually re-signed as well, which I'm very happy about. And then linebacker Joe Walker from the Cardinals. He was actually a starter on their team last year. So, some of these picks you see or these signings you see them, you don't know if they're going to be like, they're not going to be, just camp fodder or whatever. But it'll be interesting to see going forward what actually happens with all these picks or these re-signings. I keep saying the wrong thing. Sorry. And then, of course, we have our own re-signings here. I already mentioned Ronald Blair. We returning 49ers. We got Eric Armstead to a 5-year, $85 million deal I mentioned in my last video. Sean Coleman, offensive tackle. Ben Garland. And, of course, safety Jimmy Ward. We weren't going to be able to keep everybody. We knew that. So it's we got a good amount of people back. We did do Sheldon Day to the Colts, though, which sucks. But, unfortunately, in this day and age of free agency and salary cap, it is what it is. I know the cap is going up next year, so it'd be interesting to see. I know the Niners are really kind of saving their ducats. All all their dollars for the Kittle deal, which I think is the most pressing deal ever because he's the best tight end in football, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see what happens going forward. That's pretty much it as far as what's going on right now with the 49ers. I know the Niners were trying to make a signing with Ndamukong Suh, but he ended up going back to the Jets. I mean, is that really a big surprise? They have Tom Brady. Tight end Austin Hooper, excuse me. He ended up signing with the Browns a 4-year, $44 million deal. There was no way the Niners were going to put up that much money for a second tight end. Wide receiver Philip Dorsett, they were also interested in. He ended up signing with the Seahawks. And also offensive liner Connor McGovern, he ended up signing with the Jets. So there's still a lot of questions, at least for me, what the 49ers are going to have, what their roster is going to look like come next year. It's interesting because, you look at the roster last year and a lot of people thought they were pretty good, but it ended up being a Super Bowl caliber roster. But now, 1 year later, you have to get better. You have to be able to, keep up with the Joneses. I mean, look what the Cardinals did with DeAndre Hopkins. That's a huge signing. So the Niners have some firepower in the draft. They could make some moves. Like I said, I hope they take that 31st pick and turn it into more picks. The Niners have some pressing needs. I definitely think corner and wide receiver are definitely it, but offensive tackle with Joe Staley, maybe in his last year, is definitely a possibility as well. And it's all wait and see at this time. With the whole COVID-19 thing going on, there's questions about how the draft's going to be run. Nobody really knows. Some teams aren't able to have guys in for visits, which is causing a lot of issues. So they have to go pretty much based on their scouting reports when they go to draft people this year. It's not going to be like usual where you bring in all the picks and, have them, do whatever drills they need to do when they, make visits to your team. So it's an interesting time we live in. I haven't really made any videos lately. I've actually been rehabbing my shoulder. I had a shoulder procedure done, so I've been I can't say busy. I could have made videos, but, and there's not a lot of stuff to talk about. It's pointless to make. So that's pretty much it. Just a jumbled mess of thoughts. Hopefully going forward, we get some more news soon about how the draft's going to shake out, and maybe we'll have a clearer picture what the 49ers' ideas are once draft day rolls around, if they decide to stand pat and make picks at 1-31 or 13-31, or if they decide to trade back for more picks. I'm all for quantity over quality sometimes, depending, unless it's like a Nick Bosa. But it's all wait and see. All right, everyone. You all have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.